This program is sponsored by Trebon Financial Strategies. You can't win the game if you don't know the rules. Welcome to the How Money Works Masterclass. Did you know that financial illiteracy is the #1 economic crisis in the world? This masterclass is where you will improve your financial literacy and learn how to stop being a sucker. In this short series, you will learn several key concepts that will create a foundation for healthy financial habits, teaching you how to earn, spend, save, manage, and invest your money. You work hard for your money. Isn't it time you learn how to make your money work for you?
How Money Works. Kent Adams here. And Dan, how are you today?
I'm doing really good.
Good. This is another one of the series that we're doing with you to talk about how money works. And we think we all know, but we really don't know maybe as much as we should know, right?
We usually don't know what we don't know, right?
Okay, yeah.
That's one way to look at it.
I've heard that before.
Yeah. Yes.
What is financial illiteracy?
Yeah. So we all know what illiteracy is, and
Yes.
that is the inability to read or write. Right. Well, financial illiteracy is very similar, except with regard to our money.
Yeah.
It's the inability to really understand how our money works.
Okay.
And what to do with it and how to make the best use of it.
Yeah.
So are you aware that about a third of the people worldwide, only about a third are literate? That leaves 2/3 in the illiterate category.
Okay.
And that's causing the #1 economic crisis in our country today.
Yeah. How does it cause that problem?
Well, think of it this way. And if we don't know how something works, it can get us
We tend to
into
make
trouble,
mistakes,
right?
don't
can
we?
get into
Yeah,
trouble, right?
yeah.
So if we don't know how money works, it makes us vulnerable to be taken advantage of.
Yes.
And thinking through your life, I think back past in my life of times that I have been taken advantage of. And I don't mean taken advantage in an illegal way. Like
Right,
that.
right.
But let's take the bank.
But you could have made smarter decisions.
Could have made smarter decisions,
Yes.
right? But when we start earning money and we're told keep it in the bank
Yeah.
because it's a safe place, which it is a safe place. But many of us also think that that's also the best place to grow our money. So, and it's not. Think about how much
Those
money,
are really two different things.
two very different things.
Yeah.
Think about your own money in the bank
Yeah.
today, just in the bank. How much do they pay you to keep your money there? It's pretty small.
It's
isn't
less
it?
than 1%, I think, these days,
Definitely
isn't it?
less than 1% in
Yeah.
most cases, right? Yet, if you want to borrow money from the same bank, they're going to charge you
A lot more
digits
than
or
1%.
more in most cases, right? Especially when
Yeah.
it comes to credit cards, right? So you really want to understand how it works and how the whole game works, so
Right.
you can end up winning the game.
Right. So you can make the decision of when to borrow and when not to, and all of the other elements that we go through
Right.
in life.
Absolutely.
And we don't learn that in junior high or high school, even if that's the end of our education, but and much less college or universities and so forth. What do you mean by the term how money works?
Well, I'm talking about the concepts of money. So let's bring it to something that we do all understand. Physics.
Oh yes, absolutely, absolutely.
So
Yeah.
we'll bring it down here. So let's talk about gravity, for example.
Yeah.
Okay, we don't all understand exactly why gravity happens or how it's there. You know, some people that have studied that, of
Right.
course, know it, but a lot of us don't really understand all that, right? However, if I take this cup of water and drop it, we know the effect of it, right?
Yeah.
It's going to make a mess. It's
Yeah.
going to fall to the ground and it's going to make a mess.
I'm watching you.
Yeah,
Yeah, just to be sure you don't.
Money is no different.
Yeah.
So money is going to behave relative to its environment. So we need to understand what environment to work with our money in order
Okay.
to get the desired results. I would assume your desired result is to have more money rather than less. That's most people I talk to.
Yeah.
I'll admit I'm in that camp.
That's the right
Yeah.
direction, at least, right?
Right. So what we want to do is, if we have it in the right environment, it can do that. If we don't have it in the right environment, it's not going to do
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And,
So it's the
and
concept
less
of
than
money.
1% isn't going to solve our future.
No.
Okay. It may be a good resting place for
Yes.
today and for next week, but not beyond that.
Exactly. On that topic, I'm going to have another segment talking about the rule of 72.
Okay.
But that is just a quick way to learn how much your money, how long it's going to take for it to double.
Yeah.
And at 1%, it takes 72 years. So, not everybody has 72 years
Okay,
left
I
to
should
double
have
their
started about, yeah. All right. I've heard you talk about the sucker cycle.
Yes.
What is that?
Well, what I was just describing, we get into a sucker cycle, and that is we
okay.
earn our money.
Yeah.
And we usually go to work and we earn our money and we're paid by someone that's wealthy, the business owner.
Right.
And then we take our hard-earned money and we spend it at some business somewhere else.
Pay our
that's
mortgage, we
wealthy.
buy
And
Groceries, wait.
Yep.
Yep.
We spend our money on things. And a lot of those, you just mentioned some things we need.
Yeah.
Right? We also tend to spend our money on things we don't need, right?
Oh, no. No.
So,
I don't
never.
want my wife to see this and believe that, okay?
Right. Especially guys, right? We tend to have the
Oh, no.
large ticket purchase.
Oh, we wouldn't like fishing gear and boats and
No,
anything.
never.
No.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah, home, clothes, food, that stuff.
Yeah.
But we get in this cycle. We earn it, we
Yes.
spend it, we earn it, we spend it without any regard. We do
Right.
that because that's what we've always done.
Yes.
That's what our parents did. That's what our friends do. Most everybody around us, they're doing the same thing. So it's normal.
Right.
So we just get caught up in this whole cycle.
We hope there's at least $1 or $2 left at the end of the month.
Hope.
Yeah,
In
hope.
too many people's case, it is a hope.
It is.
And it's very unfortunate because that's the cycle that we're going through.
Right.
That sucker cycle.
How, how can we break that sucker cycle?
Yeah, well, it's a simple process, but not an easy one.
Okay.
So,
explain that.
Yeah, when I say simple, it is simple, but the reason it's not easy is because it's going to take some discipline. I'll break out the D word, right? And that
Oh,
discipline,
Lord. Okay, here we go.
yeah, the discipline is with regard to our spending. So the biggest
It's
thing,
always about spending pretty much, isn't it?
well, that's the part we can really control the most.
Right.
Because we can control our earning to a degree, but we can really control our spending.
Yeah.
Because spending is divided in discretionary and non-discretionary, or needs and wants, right?
Okay, yep.
And the thing is, we can control the wants, but it will take discipline.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard for everybody. I mean, it's hard for me.
Yeah.
But we want to get there and just really control it. I've heard it said this way: people spend money they don't have on things they can't afford to impress people they don't even like. So that's
There's
one way to
so
think
much
about it.
truth in that, isn't
Right?
there? Really,
Yeah.
there really is truth
so
in that.
they really do. And
Yeah.
I'll tell you I'm going to say foolish because I was there. So I'm
Okay.
calling myself a fool many years
Okay.
ago. In 1995, I bought my first personal computer. It was
Okay.
time. And as a former engineer,
Yeah.
I was very into numbers, and I wasn't in the financial business or anything like that. I was
Right.
back in my aerospace career, but I liked numbers. So I saw this little program on there called Quicken. It was
Yes.
pre-installed on my computer. You may have heard of it.
Yes.
And Quicken it's a great money management software tool. And what it does is it really helps you to know where your money is going. Because the
Right.
first step is knowing.
Yeah.
You can't do anything if you don't know.
Exactly.
So what happened was I started, my wife and I both committed to religiously entering our receipts whenever we spent money into this database, because if garbage in, garbage out, right?
Right.
So we did that. And after a couple years, I'm learning more about the program, and it has this really cool thing. It makes reports, with graphs and tables
Yep,
and
yep.
all, engineer's dream. And
Once an engineer, always an
yes.
engineer, right?
So it spits out spending. So I'm like, oh, this is interesting. How much did we spend on X last year?
Yeah.
Well,
Were you surprised?
I was very surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I thought I had a good grasp on it.
Yeah.
But no, after I saw the categories that we were spending on, the one that stood out to me the most was the credit card interest.
Okay. Yes.
So, like any good American, we got married at a young age and we created debt.
Yes, of course.
And for several years, this was prior to 1995, for several years we just created debt, and we were just part of the norm, right? Again, our friends did it, our family did it. What's not,
Right.
we knew in the back of our mind, yeah, we shouldn't have debt, but it's part of life. We needed these things.
Everybody's doing it.
Everybody's doing it. So that report spit out, and I was kind of shocked a little bit.
Yeah.
And I took it in the other room to my wife. I printed it out, and I took it in there, and I said, hey, I just want to show you what I found here.
Yeah.
This is how much money we've been spending on debt every year on our credit cards. And
Wow.
she's like, well, we could take a nice vacation for that, right?
Yes.
It was her first response, right? Because we
Yeah,
hadn't
yeah.
really been taking many
We can
vacations.
spend it other ways, but
And-
fun ways.
Yeah, but it was really a big eye opener.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I started by saying, a foolish thing to do. It is very foolish when we're spending that kind of money on things that we didn't need to have.
Yeah.
Now, granted, there's emergencies and things like that happen. I'm
sure.
not talking about that, but I'm talking about things. Vacations is one of the worst things people spend money on, because the vacation, it comes, it's gone, and now you owe on it for the next 2-3 years, right? It's a crazy thing. So
But these days with your phone, you have pictures at least.
well, you do have memories. You
Yeah.
are paying for some memories, right?
Yeah.
But let's not finance the
still.
memories,
Yeah.
Let's pay without financing them. So that was a turning point for us. And we
Good.
decided right then and there, okay, we are going to control our spending and we're going to eliminate debt. And I can tell you now, 20, 25, how many years later it is now, we have not spent $1 on consumer debt.
Wow.
Since we got that paid off. It took us a
Okay.
few years to get it paid off, but then we did
Yes.
it. So that is how you break the cycle, okay? So that, it just controls spending. That's step one.
Yeah.
But step 2, you've got to take it one step further, and you need to talk to a financial professional. And
Yeah.
you need to understand where your money can grow.
Yeah.
You know, because not growing, we know how to do that now, right?
Yeah.
So we need to understand how to grow it. So talk to a financial professional and learn about how to do that. And that's really what I help people do now. I've dedicated my life to doing that.
How do they get more information on this? Because what you're saying is so true
Yeah.
for so many of us. I think back in our past as well, but especially maybe for some younger people who
Yeah.
don't get caught in the cycle that some of us
Yeah,
middle-aged and
Yeah.
older do.
right.
Okay?
Well, the first thing, like I said, is talk to somebody. I'm
Okay.
willing to, you can go to my webpage,
Yeah.
excuse me, which is up on the screen. And that's a good place to start. I love meeting with people and talking to them. There's no
Yeah.
strings attached. It's complimentary.
Yeah.
And I really want to get this information in people's hands.
Yeah.
Financial illiteracy is a big, big problem.
Yes.
And I am part of a larger team that is just really tackling this thing. And we want to, our goal is to eradicate it. You know, will we get there? Maybe not, but we will make
But
a
you
serious
will with
dent.
some people
With
that
some
you
people,
talk to. Yes.
And we will make a serious dent on it. And anybody that meets with me, I want to give them this book here, you know, How Money Works, Stop Being a Sucker.
Okay.
Because this book was written by one of my colleagues, and this is probably the single best financial book that I have found out there that really covers these topics and helps people get them on track to thinking in a much better way.
Very simple to follow, very simple to read, very
Very.
direct.
Yes.
You know, not the 400 pages that
no.
you've got to go through to find out the 3 top things.
Exactly.
You know, we've all been there for
Yes.
whether it's aerospace or whatever it might
is.
be. Right.
Yeah. No, exactly. And the book, and the average person can read this book in an hour, hour and a half, but it's a good reread also.
Yeah.
Because there are concepts in there to learn about. And then, you know,
Wow.
a good, solid financial professional can help them navigate the waters.
Well, as some of us get older, one of the things that we do is we continue to learn. So this isn't just for young people, it's for all ages, isn't it?
All.
Yeah.
And more importantly, the people that are probably starting to think about retirement, that put it on the back shelf
Yeah.
for way too long,
Yes.
this is a good thing to start talking about.
Yeah. Never
because
too
it's
late?
never too late.
Okay.
Never too late to get started.
Dan, thank you very much. That's
Yeah,
very
thank you.
helpful.
Thanks.
Thanks for watching.
This program is sponsored by Trebon Financial Strategies. You can't win the game if you don't know the rules.